Hey, this episode was absolutely mad. So much to get into and break down. It's going to be a very long Love Island review. Hey guys, it's Morali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Back again with another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button. It is daily and consistent content. Comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up and let's get straight into this. England lost. Are we surprised? We get so close and then we lose. I'm not surprised, guys. This is what England is about. Karma for this country's history. Do you understand? Karma for this country's history. Now, before we get into this review, which is a juicy review indeed, I have a big announcement to make for you guys. I am doing officially a Love Island viewing finale party for the UK season 11 episode on the 29th of July, Monday. The link is in the bio below and it's also in the pinned comment. Get your early bird tickets. Do you understand? Because the way that these tickets flew last time, and I opened a round of tickets at most and I couldn't open any more. The way that we enjoyed last year. Okay, Whitney didn't win. We wanted Whitney and Lockin to win. But outside of that, or Tariq and Ella, outside of that, the way we enjoyed the food, enjoyment. The music, enjoyment. All of us huddled together watching Love Island, enjoyment. Do you understand? All of it was beautiful. The goodie bags everybody got as well. It is a event to come to. Tickets include food, tickets include a drink, tickets include free goodie bags and meet and greet as well, and watching the show. Like, it's gonna be gang guys. It's gonna be absolute madness. And go and get your tickets down below in the link in the bio and the pinned comment, because last year's tickets flew by quickly. So go and get your tickets. And if you're coming alone, it's okay. DM me and let me know and I can put you in a group of solo attendees. If you want to come from somewhere in Europe, those came from Amsterdam, Scotland, so many people from Spain, people came from. DM me and let me know and I will respond. The link is in the bio below. And I've made my tickets low priced, so it's sustainable for you guys because everything is just getting so expensive anyways. Buy your tickets, guys. Buy your tickets. Now let's get into this, where we have a lot to get into. So much has happened in this whole episode. It's just been an absolute madness. We're gonna break down Joey Essex first. This guy enjoys humbling Grace. You can see it in his eyes. He wants to be messy boots. He's upset that Grace has moved on from this and he believes that Grace is holding on. So when Grace is letting him know, I'm fine from this, immediately what Joey's doing is Joey's questioning Grace's reactions rather than understanding that he is the reason for her reaction. A lot of men do this. It's very manipulative and it's very gaslighty. It is absolutely insane. I feel for Grace in this episode. I feel like she was completely gaslit throughout this episode. Continuously, she doesn't have any feelings or affections towards Joey. Yes, she's gotten close to Jess, because they're quite similar, but obviously on the outside of the villa, it's not going to be like that. They're obviously in a controlled environment. One thing I like about Grace is that she argues very well, clear explanation, and does what she needs to do. She does not shy away from any of that. But Joey was continuously gaslighting her, being unfair, being somewhat of a bully and toying with the girl's mind. And I think that it was very unfair that he was doing this. Again, Joey I find to be irritating to watch on TV. Don't think he should be there at all. But at the same time, I do think that Grace was right in this. She's moved on from this. He can't fathom it. He kept saying it in the game. He kept saying it after the game. And he didn't want to come to have an argument, but you're the one that was causing madness. So if you've caused madness and you've pissed somebody off, you don't get the audacity to say that you don't want an argument. You can't police and control other people's emotions once you've made somebody feel uncomfortable. It is insane how people can make somebody feel uncomfortable and then question their uncomfortability and say, how dare you be uncomfortable? They gaslight. It's very scary. It's very, very common. Now, where Grace was wrong was when everything was going on with Ruben. I get it. Ruben raised it in the morning and it kind of irritated you, but I don't think it's that deep for you to feel pissed off. She was off him that morning. She didn't want to kiss him. But after that tennis match, she was lip locking him left, right and center because she was butthurt, of course, and she wanted to show everybody that she's really into this man. So sometimes I can see why she moves the way she moves. I can see what Joey's saying to an extent, but I feel like Joey was definitely the one more in the wrong. And I feel like with Ruben, he wanted to raise something and so forth. He felt like he got embarrassed by the speech and he wanted to come to Grace and say, listen, I don't like what you did. And so I don't think there's any issue. And he can do that whenever he wants to. He doesn't have to do it that night. He can sleep on something and speak on it in the morning. You need to just get over it. Now, I like Ruben. He should have been an OG. He's probably the only guy in there that has personality. The only guy in there that has a warming, welcoming personality that you like to see. This man should have been an OG. This is not something that was so seriously wrong with this season. placement. There's really bad placement, guys, when it comes to how these people come in and the timing of it. He should have been an OG man. Ruben should have been an OG or early bombshell immediately, because this man's personality is you want to watch him. Even the mini vlogs that he does, it's fun to watch. So it's an absolute shame that obviously, you know, it didn't work out that way. Mimi is going back to Io, guys. We know how this game works. Mimi is going back to Io. She was crying about it to Nicole right at the end as well. She has those feelings for him, and she feels like Josh is giving her the love bomby princess overtly 24/7 treatment. I get it. The man's coming for her, but there's pressure that comes from that, and this is the pressure that she's feeling, considering even more so that she's a slow burner and doesn't know what to do. She's allowed to have feelings for Io. I feel like a lot of people are policing people's feelings and emotions, and I hate when we do that, but it's so common on social media. She's allowed to still have feelings for Io. They're in a confined environment. She was with him for a while. She got dumped by him. That doesn't mean that because she's been embarrassed and dumped by him that those feelings go away. Those feelings are still going to be there. So I feel for her in this moment, because she still likes Io. She's allowed to still like Io as well. Just because Io treated her disrespectfully doesn't mean that her feelings immediately go like that. Or just because some of the girls, or if Uma was there, she would have been like, stand on business. That doesn't matter. You can't tell somebody to stand on business when they have their own emotions. They're going to go whatever the way that they're going to go. Then they will have to find out in their own way. I don't think Io's a good fit for Mimi, and I don't think even Josh is a good fit for Mimi. I don't think either of the guys are a good fit for Mimi. But her best chance of most likely winning this show or getting close is with Io, because he is an OG. If she has more feelings for him, she's going to go and divert that way. It's obvious she doesn't like the pressure cooker from Josh. It's way too much, and she's diverting, you know, the other way, and that's what we're seeing here. I'm glad that Jessie dragged Sean in that challenge, and she was even dragging Joey. She had mouth for everybody, and I'm glad, and she landed with all her points, because one thing about Sean is that he is a nice guy that was obviously flopping hard. Once a nice guy gets his piece of cake, he likes to run with it, and that's exactly what's happened here. He's running with it, getting a bit too excited, always opening his mouth unnecessary towards the girls, and it's just annoying. He's getting way too excited. This was not the Sean that we knew in the first couple of weeks. This is a whole different Sean. I'm glad that she gets her 10s from me for that point where she obviously was like, but what you were doing at Casa? Let's roll back the tapes and talk about that. This challenge was very good. Probably the best challenge of the season. But for some reason, we didn't get any challenges this season. This was one of the few good challenges. And I genuinely feel like they should have re-brought many of these challenges during this entire season. And this is what it does. It produces a good episode with tension and conversation. Don't know why the UK people don't want to do it, but it is very frustrating to see. I don't understand why the UK people don't want to do it. But I'm glad that she dragged him in that moment, because Sean, he likes to talk a lot. Nicole and Kieran, of course, are discussing on the terrace. Nicole's in love again. I'm not invested in this relationship. It's not going to work on the outside. Regardless of whether she trusts him now, it's all performative, because you trusting him in the villa is different to you trusting him on the outside, babe. It's not the same. I don't see them two lasting. That's just my honest opinion. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it. I don't see any of these couples lasting. I don't even see Jess and Joey lasting. The way that Joey is treating Grace, you don't think that you don't think that you'll be next. He'll be treating you the same way when somebody else comes his way. I don't think any of these couples are unfortunately lasting. I don't even think Matilda and Sean are lasting. Matilda has a mouth on her, which I like. I always like when somebody has a mouth on them. So 10s for her, for the fact that she obviously was not backing down to Joey. But of course, I just get bully vibes from Matilda, the Year 9 bully schoolgirl clique vibe. That's just what I get from her. She was one of those girls that would bully people for the fun of it because her friends told her to do so. That's just my honest opinion. I could be wrong, but that's just the vibe that I get from her. Now, an after sun clip was shown where in the Snog Marry Pie, Josh decided to snog Grace, basically saying that if I wasn't with Mimi, I would be with you. Now, this is obviously seen as disrespectful. Everybody's breaking it down online. Everybody's like, well, you know, Mimi was right. She was being pressured. And Josh, he's obviously lied to her. The fact that he's done that, he's embarrassed her. Two men have embarrassed her. It's so sad to see. I don't think Josh is in the wrong here. Let me tell you why. I have a strong feeling that Josh was told by producers to do this to stir up conversation. That's why I don't think I'm not too tough on him for doing this. Okay, he's in the wrong. Let me say he's in the wrong. He is, but I'm not too tough on him. When I was interviewing Billy, he said in the interview with him on season 8, he said himself that he was told to do this by producers. That they told him, no, do not go kiss Danica, go and kiss somebody else. I think it was Gemma. I can't remember who he wanted to kiss. And she was pissed about it. And it created a whole scenario and situation. He then went back to producers and said, look, I don't want to make that. They're like, too late, you've locked in, go do it. So I genuinely feel like they were telling him, Josh, go and kiss Grace. You said you liked her. Let's see if something's there. It's not really great, Ruben. I 100%, I'm telling you that I think this is how it went. He was told to do so. He was convinced. He didn't know what to do. He was pressured. And this is why I'm even myself, I've gotten quite lazy with reaching out to any islanders and even interviewing them. Outside of Tanya and Zita, I've just lost interest, guys, because this is how the game works. This is how the system works, especially in the UK. I don't know about USA, but they get told by producers to do so much. It is insane. A lot of what you're seeing here, guys, are narratives that are picked for these people. So before we even know, so we think it's authentic and etc. I wouldn't even be surprised. The producers are telling me to go back to Io. I would not be surprised, guys. They're so wired in. You just don't. It's basically invisible puppet strings on these islanders that we don't see. It's insane. So everybody's now dragging Josh. How dare he? How dare he? It's so bait and obvious to me that production have told him to do this, to stir up some kind of conversation, because there's barely been any drama and it's been one of the most boring seasons. Today was a good episode, but it definitely stands out. And if today was a good episode, like, the standards are very, very low. I'm so sorry. Like, very, very low, because there've been very much better episodes. This was a casual day on season 10, season 2, season 8. Season 5, this was a casual day, do you understand? So, I don't know, make of this what you will. I am doing a New York event over next Sunday. Please do not get mixed up with the two. There's a UK and there's a US finale. I'm doing 2 events back to back. So do not buy a ticket for my New York party, because unless you're coming to New York, it doesn't make sense. So make sure that you're on the correct link, which is obviously in the bio and in the pinned comment. So you will definitely see the correct link there for you guys to collect. Get your early bird tickets. Get your early bird tickets before they sell out and before, you know, people buy them. Save of your coin. It's a deal. It's a snag with food and drink included. The Trini food that we had last year absolutely slapped. It absolutely slapped. The Trini food was amazing. So obviously we're going to bring that same food, same location, same everything, because it was gang and we all just enjoyed. There's just going to be more TVs for everybody to have more of a better angle to watch stuff. And there's barely been any sun. So that's good when it comes to using projectors and etc. But of course, this summer's been absolutely pathetic. Bad season of Love Island. We lost at the Euros. No summer this year. Throw this summer away, please. Throw this summer away. This was a very long Love Island review. Probably my longest for this season. I remember back in the day, I was given part 1 and part 2. Good times, good times. But make of this what you will and comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Break this down to me. It's a very long review and I will catch you guys soon for another episode.